He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee. There's no one quite like him. You know that guy, the greatest? Muhammad Ali. The name echoes across time, synonymous with boxing, with greatness. But there's more to his story than just that. His life was a whirlwind of fists and fame, but also of principles and peace. He was born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, in Louisville, the largest city in the U.S. state of Kentucky. Cassius grew up in a segregated America. It was during this time that he began to face the realities of racism and injustice firsthand. He changed his name to Muhammad Ali. Now, why did he do such a thing? In 1967, Muhammad Ali was drafted into the U.S. Army. He was supposed to go to Vietnam, but Muhammad refused. He didn't want to be part of a war that he felt was unjust, especially since he was a conscientious objector. He believed that all people are equal and that violence goes against his religion and his beliefs. After refusing to be inducted, his passport was taken away, and he was stripped of his heavyweight title. But retirement didn't mean slowing down for Ali. He remained a global icon, using his platform to advocate for peace and understanding. And to add to it all, he was charged with draft evasion. Doctors diagnosed him with a dreaded disease, Parkinson's disease. This condition affects a person's movement and coordination. Despite the challenges, Muhammad Ali's spirit remained strong. He became a symbol of hope for those facing similar health conditions. He didn't let this diagnosis define him. Instead, he used his experience to raise awareness and funds for research. At a time when society was grappling with deep-rooted prejudices, Muhammad Ali emerged as a beacon of hope. He didn't just preach about equality, he lived it. His interracial marriage symbolized unity, and his commitment to social justice inspired countless others to follow in his footsteps. He didn't shy away from expressing his views, even when it meant going against the grain. Was a true humanitarian who used his platform to make the world a better place. Muhammad Ali may have left us, but his legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of millions. He was more than just a boxer. He was a symbol of strength, perseverance, and the power of standing up for what's right. His life was a resounding answer to the question, how can one man make a difference? He showed us that one man, with conviction, courage, and character, can indeed change the world. Before Muhammad Ali, athletes were often segregated and limited to playing for teams based on their race. But Ali's courage in speaking out against racism and his refusal to be confined by societal norms paved the way for future generations of athletes to compete and excel regardless of the color of their skin. His courage in refusing to be inducted into the military during the Vietnam War, despite the personal cost, was a defining moment. His commitment to humanitarian causes, particularly his work with the Special Olympics, left an indelible mark on the lives of countless individuals with intellectual disabilities. Muhammad Ali wasn't just a great boxer or an activist. He was a master storyteller and a poet of the ring. His ability to hype up a fight with his trash talk and then back it up in the ring was unmatched. It was this showmanship that made him a global icon and ensured that his name would live on long after his retirement. He didn't just raise awareness about their capabilities, he championed their inclusion and acceptance. It showed the world that one man's conscience is more powerful than any force trying to suppress it. Well, you see, at that time, America was a very different place. His autobiography, The Greatest, Need No Introduction, was published in 1991. As the years passed, Muhammad Ali's health continued to decline, but his indomitable spirit never wavered. His death was a profound loss, not just for the world of sports, but for all of humanity. Millions around the globe mourned the passing of a legend who had transcended the boundaries of boxing. He was more than just a boxer. He was a cultural icon, a humanitarian, and a symbol of resilience. It gave readers a peek into the life of a legend, sharing his journey from the segregated streets of Louisville to the global stage. But during this time, he got married to a woman named Lonnie Williams. They had 2 children together, and he started doing activism for civil rights. Then, in 1970, the Supreme Court ruled in his favor, reinstating his citizenship and returning his passport. Soon after, he got his title back, and he was ready to make a comeback. There were strict norms and deep-rooted prejudices. When Muhammad revealed his conversion, it wasn't just a personal announcement. It was a statement that challenged the norms. This wasn't just a boxing match. It was a clash of personalities, styles, and views. On October 30th, 1973, Muhammad Ali was back in the ring facing George Foreman in the Zaire. The match became known as the Rumble in the Jungle. Muhammad's strategy was unlike any before. Instead of exhausting himself with powerful punches, he stayed light on his feet, frustrating Foreman. And when the time was right, he delivered a knockout punch, winning the match. Muhammad lost the match, but his spirit remained unbroken. Muhammad Ali used his fame and influence to speak out against racism and for the rights of those who were often unheard. He once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." And he did just that. The world witnessed his resilience, his courage to stand by his beliefs. People didn't understand why he would want to convert and change his name. They tried to pull him back, but he stood firm. This was more than just a name change. It was a symbol of identity, pride, and purpose. So he vowed to get justice himself. At that moment, young Cassius decided to learn how to fight back. That decision led him to meet Joe Meister, who took him under his wing and taught him the art of boxing. Under Masteriano's guidance, Cassius honed his skills, learning not just how to throw a punch, but also how to take one. By the time he was 18, Cassius was ready to step into the ring as a professional boxer. When he was 12 years old, his bike was stolen, and when he reported it to the police, they didn't take any action. The match lasted only 3 rounds, with Cassius emerging victorious. With each match, Cassius Clay rose through the ranks of the heavyweight division. On February 25, 1964, he stepped into the ring for the most important match of his life. He was about to challenge the reigning world heavyweight champion, Sonny Liston. On October 29, 1960, in the National Airlines Armory in Louisville, Cassius faced off against Tunney Hunsinger. With a burst of energy and a flurry of punches, Cassius turned the tables. In the 7th round, he knocked out Liston, becoming the new world heavyweight champion. Over the next few years, Cassius defended his title 7 times, but his life was about to change in ways he never imagined. In the 6th round, as the fight seemed to be slipping away from Cassius, something remarkable happened. At the height of his boxing career, Cassius shocked the world by announcing that he was changing his name and joining the Nation of Islam, a black Muslim group. But this decision had consequences. For the next 3 years, Muhammad couldn't travel and he couldn't box. It seemed like the world was against him. On May 1, 1971, Muhammad Ali stepped into the ring again to face off against Joe Frazier. But Muhammad Ali's story doesn't end there. It was far from over. Over the next few years, Muhammad continued to defend his title and solidify his place in boxing history. But his impact went beyond the boxing ring. In 1984, at the age of 42, Muhammad Ali announced his retirement from boxing with a record of 56 wins, 5 losses, and 39 knockouts. But in 1984, his health took a turn. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, Muhammad Ali continued to be a prominent figure, attending events, meeting world leaders, and inspiring millions. In 2002, he was chosen to light the Olympic flame at the Athens Summer Olympics, a tribute to his enduring legacy and the universal values he stood for. On June 3, 2016, Muhammad Ali passed away at the age of 74. Muhammad Ali's life was a testament to the power of standing up for what you believe in. Moreover, his efforts to promote peace and understanding across racial and religious lines were nothing short of revolutionary. In fact, his fight against racism was so impactful that it played a pivotal role in breaking down racial barriers in professional sports. His legacy extends beyond sports. Muhammad Ali's influence can be seen in various aspects of our society today. And let's not forget his unparalleled showmanship and charisma. So as we remember Muhammad Ali, let us not just celebrate his boxing prowess, but also his courage, his compassion, and his unwavering commitment to justice.